back to the second half of Illuminati with Cripple and Tricks. We are talking today about the very important subject matter of installation art, which we have never discussed till now.
And we have the father of installation art for all over Southeast Asia, probably all of South Asia, Mr. Juni, one of the few artists who goes by one name. Meron mga ganyan sa Indonesia, di ba, Junyi?
Yeah, they have one name lang.
Yes, this is not even like Lao Yan Den. This is Junyi.
Like when you say, tricks, alam na yan.
Yeah,
Tricks or treat.
or trick. Ganda yung combination niya, no?
Anyway, we were talking about one of your favorite large installations, and also Trick's favorite,
Angod.
yung Angod, that is a CCP.
Yes.
How did it, well, eventually we will be showing the
photos. But
the
I'd
photos,
very much love for you, Tito, if you could explain to our viewers what exactly is Angod.
Angod actually started when Nis Hardin asked me to put up a big installation for the Earth Day celebration during 2007.
There it is.
Okay, so that's the Angod now, and they gave me funding for that. We spent more than $500,000 for that, including 100,000 from Metro Bank Foundation. Angod is actually technically the end part of an illegally cut log,
Yes.
where they bore a hole and sharpen the end.
That's why we can see there.
Yeah, it's like
Parang tree
bungo.
stumps.
Yes.
Yeah,
Parang
stump.
stumps. Yeah.
The hole is for the rope to be put inside and for the Carabao to haul it downstairs.
Okay.
Then after that, they have to cut that part because they cannot sell that anymore. May butas na kasi. And they use it for firewood or charcoal, making.
Yes.
Which is what you collected.
I collected more than 10,000 of that in
Wow.
4 months' time.
You know, the counterpart of this in Batanes is they're rocks, right? With those eyes, with those holes.
Yeah.
Which they use to as ballast.
Yes,
To
that's right.
hold the boats down,
That's
the
right.
roofs of the houses. No? But may
Yun,
mga
tama ka
nakita
doon,
itong
tama ka
wood.
doon.
This is all wood, no?
This is all wood, different kind of wood.
And it's big. You can see there. There's
Yeah, it's
your
big. It's
My
big.
God.
point of
10,000.
reference. Those two
More than
people.
10,000 of that. Yeah, more than 10,000 of
Parang
that.
yung clay army sa siyan.
Oh, parang ganun sa malayo. And different kind of wood, hardwood, softwood. And I spent 4 months gathering them in Real, in Panta, Quezon, General Nakar. There's are the area where we have rampant.
And how long did you have to?
Amazing.
Did it take you to install it?
2 weeks
install it in the
with 2
ground?
weeks with 6 workers to
My
help
goodness,
me,
oh.
and a lot of kabitser and volunteers.
Yes.
Yeah, because every time I do installation, my friends came and
Okay. And this was videoed, and I hope the installation process itself.
I think CCP have a copy of
I'm sure
that.
CCP documented it.
What are those tall ones that are parang
These are the angod, the small angod na hindi pa naputol yung dulo.
I see.
So hindi na nila magagamit kasi it's bulok. So binili ko rin. So,
Yes.
kinuha ko rin.
And then how do you go about conceptualizing your installations? Do you already have like a preconceived idea of what it should look like when it's done, or is it more of an
Half.
Spontaneous.
First of all,
Yes.
I have this preconceived idea when I saw a
Do
sample
as
of ang
you go.
angod
Yeah.
in one of my visits there. Then I saw, oh, this is a good art material. Then when I know the reason behind or the thing behind this angod, I became more interested. So, but 50% is, when you're doing it actually.
spot.
On the spot.
like
kind
I
of thing.
noticed, you put some
Rope.
string or rope.
Yeah,
String,
it's
yes.
a red
Some are
rope.
pink colored or
Red, actually red, no?
Red, red
parang
ba yan?
gumawa ako ng tali, tinuhog ko silang lahat to say that, the environment is a live thing. This is the bloodstream
threaded through.
that you cut, So they are, in nature, everything is connected. We call it ecology, something like that. So that's the reason why I have this red string.
And when the exhibit was on, were people or observers allowed to walk through the maze or through the quad?
Actually, CCP did not allow people to go in.
Well,
But,
they might tamper with
Pero
the
yung
way
mga
it's laid
mga
out,
writer, mga photographer,
Yeah, they
art
can
people,
go
they can
close,
go.
oh.
They can go.
But
inside.
it's pretty hard to view from unless you go up the
like
ramp
from an
of
aerial
CCP,
perspective.
Actually no, because any angle it will surprise you. First of all,
Yes.
because of the hugeness of the thing. Second, because of the atmosphere. It looks like sometimes a cemetery. In fact,
Yeah, it's a parang wasteland. ano?
parang
Parang
wasteland.
Holocaust survivor.
kind of
ano?
thing. In fact, the CCP poetry book was dedicated for Angod. The cover was Angod. They write poetry about Angod. I even wrote one about Angod.
But it would have been lovely to see a bunch of kids running around through it,
Yes,
touching
yes.
it and jumping on it,
Siguro
parang
magkatumba-tumba
naging
sila because of this string.
Yes.
But I know how what you're thinking.
You did another installation at the Visayas Biennale, actually.
Oh, very small.
And then, yes, it was small compared to this, but you made use naman of...
This is
what was
different
this?
because I asked people to
Cast.
step on a clay black,
Yes.
so to imprint their
Different
footsteps.
people imprinted
Different
their
people.
footsteps, and then he
So,
laid them out in the,
Yeah, very simple kind of thing because I don't
the
have the
courtyard
time.
of the prison, which is
Yeah.
where we
Have
exhibited.
you ever-
Yeah, we were together there.
Sa
Yes.
Visayan Biennale. That was
Yeah.
last year, di ba?
Yeah,
Last year.
yeah.
Have you ever tried pottery?
I tried, but
Firing.
in college I tried pottery. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. Parang natatagalan ako. And it's very technical.
Pottery is more your thing. That scene
Very
from,
technical.
from the movie
Centering.
Ghost.
Centering.
Oh, my love. You know.
Potter's wheel.
Yeah, I like the idea of working with my emotion, and pottery is very technical,
That's true. Very true.
Kind of similar. Trix likes to work on other people's emotions.
Yes, I like working with other people's emotions, not my own. You're my favorite prey.
How many art creations she has established, like Frankenstein. Anyway, back to your work, Junior. What was the most challenging in terms of scope that you've been invited to do abroad?
Your most challenging project.
When I do a lot of, I do my installation abroad, I always have some kind of tragedy, if you can call that. In Brisbane, I got sick. One of my companion, Roberto Villanueva, died 2 years later.
Yes, yes.
It was perfectly supernatural kind of thing because we were working on a secret ground that we don't know. It's the
I kind
backyard.
of heard about that,
Yeah.
yeah.
And,
But okay. I thought that Robert, di ba he had to take a special trip to Uluru, Ayers Rock, right? To try to heal himself nga
Yeah.
from his...
Yeah.
I think he was even accompanied by Kidlat Tahimik.
Because they were in Baguio together.
Oh, yeah. So it did work.
It does.
Namatay pa rin.
I was hospitalized
They were in Baguio
also.
together.
Talaga, I heard nga.
Yeah, but it's a long story. I think we'll consume our time if I'll tell you the story.
You must have
And then
offended
also,
some spirit,
when
some
you
Yes.
were,
original
yes.
spirit.
We offended some spirit.
Does it ever occur to you that
And I encountered the spirit himself. Not one, but many of them I encountered physically. I encountered those people.
or
Different kind
you
of
mentioned
outback.
earlier, Tito, also about when you were receiving an award or parang you fell from the stage. And then
That
you
was
were
at CCP. I
hospitalized.
fell down from the stage because they constructed it different. I thought there was a railing. There was none. So I
Yes. Was this for
make a
Angod?
dive to the cement
Did the
pavement.
people think it was a performance from an installation
Yeah, and
artist?
Ben Cab was telling me, "Are you alright?" And sabi ko, hindi. So, dinala ko sa hospital, bumukol yung dito. I lost my consciousness then. Yeah. In Cuba, that was traumatic because the whole thing was burned down by the people, the black population there. They burned down the whole installation because I conducted a workshop
yours,
there. It's a big one, Ang dami namin European artists.
Was it supposed to be burned?
No, they want to get the material because during the time in Cuba, there was no store. You cannot buy anything except in your hotel. Wala kang mabili.
Incredible.
Walang tindahan doon. The whole Habana has no tindahan. No? So yung mga tao doon, pinaghahakot nila yung mga materialis namin na magagamit nila sa bahay nila. So yung hindi nila magamit, in front of policemen and in front of the dignitaries, and they were shocked. Everybody was shocked because just burned everything.
Parang nag-riot?
Parang nag-riot. I was about to perform during the opening.
Sila ang naging performance?
Andun si King, andun si Pandi. Si King ang CCP president.
Yes,
She visited me
Kasi
there.
lang,
We cannot perform anymore because the people keep on started tearing our installation apart. And the rest that they cannot carry, they burn it. They burn the whole thing.
What
So
an
traumatic,
experience.
in Fukuoka, it was different thing. It was about to be opened, and a big storm came, and you have to make hack of everything.
There's always
Yeah,
something.
all the volunteers, all the women, things like that. Hundreds of volunteers carried all my works inside the building because there's the storm coming. Then kinabukasan binalik na naman, so very tiring.
Baka you need Tony Perez along next time.
Yeah. It's always like that.
Spirit quest muna. The
Pwede.
area and establish correct feng shui. And
Because it was in the
clear
city.
place.
It was in the city. So, mahirap magpungsoy doon.
I'm sure, no, somebody like you, an artist of your stature and your imagination, you never really rest in terms of conceiving your next project.
Yeah.
What would be your big, ambition? Or what else is there in the bucket list?
As far as visual art, I think there's a lot. I think I need another lifetime. But my next plan is to live visual art. I want to quit visual art and do something else. And there's other things in my mind that I want to do before. I'm already 70, so I'm last quarter of my life, so I want to do other things. So yun. And whatever it is,
Is the artist village
No.
in Bel Air part of that?
No.
No.
It's very, it's
that
also
would be
visual.
more of what? Parang architectural design yun, or something?
More about the universe.
What you plan to do. What you plan to do.
More about
Take me along when you beat yourself back to outer space, okay?
I never read since college, since I burned all my things. I never read art book. I read a lot of theoretical physics kind of thing.
Yes, that's a lot like me actually. I read very little about art. I watch very few art films, but I'm very much drawn to documentaries. I don't know. I don't think it has any bearing on you as an artist, really.
Yeah, you can perform parang, what do they call that? Like carte blanche, Parang it's a clean slate na the less input you have from
Yes,
outer sources,
exactly.
the
because
purer you are.
I want to know that whatever I
That's
produce
the reason
is a
why I
product
don't like
of
read.
me.
I don't want to read art book because it influences your mind. Your mind is like a
so
sponge;
true.
it's absorbed, and it will influence your art making. I don't like
I
that.
think that's,
I don't like that.
that's a really,
Too
really
much
great way
knowledge.
of
So-
explaining.
What's the term for it now? Di ba? There's even an acronym. There's even initials for it na parang TMI ba? Too much information or something like that.
Something like that.
Parang ganun, no?
Maybe.
TM na lang, Transcendental Meditation.
That's why I was telling Trix a while ago that if you see my sculpture or my painting, you cannot trace it to anybody's work, foreign or
Yes.
or Filipino, because
We actually have, I'm not sure if our technicians can still access the 5 pictures that I forwarded them through email. If it's difficult, that's all right, but if you can, kindly play them anytime, the 5 pictures that I emailed. Because this was
What are
from
they, anyway?
this
here.
one.
This is actually from
okay.
Israel, correct?
yeah, Israel. I was
Um,
there. Can I?
Yes, of
I
course,
was there
please.
last June 21. The city of Lisiong, where they have this 65 hectares national Holocaust Memorial Park.
Yes.
Maybe we can see the next picture.
I have my monument there. I'm the only one who have the monument there. And every year they sort of have a celebration in my sculpture. So that time I was there. I was the guest of the city mayor. I was with our ambassador Kalongi. So that's the mayor there. That's the plaque of my sculpture.
Yes, there it is.
That's the mayor, extreme left. And I was with Dr. Ali Posi Magsaysay Awardee in Public Service, the one in the center. So that's the... So...
This is more
that's
of a
the
sculpture.
sculpture.
That is it.
It's a sculpture.
That's the monument. It's made of bakal and marble from Romulon. The floor is flooring
marble
is
and steel.
marble from Romulon, the white marble.
Very
It's,
good.
it's quite huge, almost like
It
half
is
a
huge.
basketball court, big. And the height is 7 meters. The next one is 6 meters.
Did you carve it while there already, or it's
No, I send it. It's knocked
okay.
down. I send an
okay.
architect to assemble it there.
And was it directly commissioned, Junior?
No,
or
it
did
was
you
a
win a contest?
It was a competition.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I
Competition,
was one of the 7 finalists. Then I won the Grand Award. So that's it. So I made that for them.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Deleted. Yeah.
You have no such work, similar work here in the Philippines?
I just
And,
finished one in Baler. I have a
Ah,
44th structure there to commemorate their 400 years anniversary. I am very new in public art kasi I spend most of my time in installation and doing sculpture. But now I'm doing a lot of public art. So maybe I can. I have one in Jakarta, one in Oita, Japan. So there are very few
I'm
compared
very
to
fond of-
others.
You know, that's one book that I've been dreaming to produce and to do. Philippine public art.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Heaven knows, there's so
You
much
should come up with
examples already. Dito lang sa The Fort, di ba? We have some of the best public
Yes.
art. The Fort, sa Red
They're very active.
Very active.
No.
They've got the best artists
I
doing
think
their
so.
stuff. Ray
And young artists at that,
Contreras,
ha? Mga magagaling.
Yes.
magagaling.
Tsaka large scale.
Large scale.
I want to produce a book where you have public art of all kinds. You know, even the kitschy.
Please do that.
Di ba? Siyempre,
Yeah.
kasali
Even the
work.
kitschy.
Even the kitschy, like the entrances to Tagaytay and La Union and
Yeah.
Baguio. Mga
Yes.
vegetables na nakaganon sa archway.
Yes, or
Yes,
the
tama.
ones in
That's
the
public art.
train,
Oh, public
the
art yun.
trains,
But it's
right?
kitsch.
It used to be that when you say public art, it's all Rizal Monument. Every town, every
exactly. Yun,
city.
there will have to be a chapter of Puro Rizal.
Yeah, Puro Rizal.
Rizal, all kinds. And then you have those cement horses in Baguio, di ba, drinking from a trough. Na, yung kitschy.
Right.
Kasi
Yeah.
nga, public art in modern term or contemporary public art is very new in this country.
Yes,
So
yes.
I'm glad Global City and Ayala are spearheading this kind of thing.
It's something else. I like to think na yung public art is what draws ordinary citizens to art.
That's right.
Yeah,
when
to
you
begin with, because
impinge on their
otherwise they just be
consciousness.
going about their
Di ba yung
lives.
like the most notable public art in the Western world, like Klaus Oldenburg's, yung mga ordinary objects that are blown up to size, di ba? Minsan pencil lang or a
Yeah,
hammer.
yeah.
When a kid
Or a
sees
paper
it,
clip. Like, or a
paper
clip.
clip. Kaya, pag nakita ng bata, parang, it
Gugulat
impinges
sila.
on their consciousness that this is art or something else out of the ordinary.
Because this is the kind of thing where Muhammad go to the mountain, instead of mountain going to Muhammad. So it used to be na pag Rizal lang, hindi naman na-amuse yung mga bata, hindi sila interested kasi si Rizal, everywhere is Rizal. But now we are doing beautiful public art by young artists na mga talented. So
Sa Singapore, nakakaingit. Everywhere you turn, there's public art.
Yeah, that's right.
Di ba? On the river, merong mga nakaganon.
ganda
Oo.
kaka-inspire.
Dati paglayon lang
Ganahan
yung
kang
public art
mag-ikot-ikot.
nila. Oo. Sa botanical garden nila, di ba? Ang ganda. We should have more of it.
Yeah, should have more.
On another note, Junyi, I'm sure you do this also, no? You conduct workshops.
Yeah, of course.
Is that on a regular basis?
No.
How would kids
Is it by
want to...
request?
I really don't like doing workshop or teaching. I've been asked to teach in UP many times. I don't have the talent to teach. Hindi ako magaling magturo. So I avoid this
But
kind
if
of
young
thing.
people want to apprentice,
I never have an apprentice. I always refuse. I have one now because he's my pamangkin. Inadapt ko siya. Nanalo siya ng first prize sa GSIS painting competition. So, yon. Pero otherwise, I don't like people within my working area.
you
Yes,
prefer
because
to
as
be
you mentioned, you're
solitary.
very individual.
Ayaw kong may tao sa paligid ko. Even my wife, I don't have birds in just birds in the room. Yan, parang gano'n.
You have a studio in
Yes, in
Los
Los
Baños.
Baños. I hope you can visit my place
Sometime,
sometimes.
Pag nadaan doon.
You're
Then
not-
maybe, Tito, in that case, if you don't really accept people for apprenticing, maybe you can give some advice to our younger viewers who are watching the show right now, who are interested in pursuing also installation art and who look up to you. What advice can you give them on installation art if it's something they'd like to pursue?
Well, I think not only on installation art, but if they're doing anything about art, I think the
Yes.
best thing they have to do is be yourself. I mean, try to be original. Try not to copy other people's work. Every artist had been influenced by other artists. That's true. It's part of the passage. It's part of the
Influence,
faces, influences, including me. walang exception. But along the way, down the road, you should start doing it from your own, you know. Come up with your own. Don't be satisfied na, oh, if you do something na, oh, mukha-mukha ng iba, I mean, please don't do it. I mean, stop doing it and do
Yes.
something
Or
else.
if it just happens to, let's say you create a work and then it's greatly received by critics, and then somewhere down the road you see it in a magazine, oh, it looks like my work. I mean, then I guess you can't be faulted for that. But don't go looking at works and I'm going to make something like
exactly.
this.
Another thing is, the artists should remember that art is not the hanap buhay. Maybe they should always
Correct.
remember
Yes.
that. It's not hanap buhay. If you become a millionaire or get rich by your art, well and good, but it should not be
That's
your
true,
aim.
because
You know?
a lot of people actually enter into art because they think that one painting will make me,
that's right.
you know, 50,000 pesos. So
And
I
then
can
when
go.
they win one award, they keep on repeating the same style up
Becomes
until tatanda sila ganun pa rin.
Commercial production,
production.
parang factory.
And that's a waste of talent because they could do other things, you know. Because if you are an artist, you have a lot in your mind. Ang problema, hindi mo ini-entertain, hindi mo binubuksan yung ibang chamber doon.
Yes.
So it's a waste of time.
A lot of the commercial, artists are so guilty of that. Though. They know that if this kind of thing sells, doon na lang sila.
Doon na lang
Diba?
sila.
They'll keep repeating it because it sells.
Yeah.
Few are the artists, but there are some, of course, we have so much talent, no? That break away from that mode.
Yes.
Bahala na, whether magustuhan nyo ito. No, I'm fulfilling my own creative urge.
It's hard because you really have to suffer. When I started doing installation art, minsan wala talaga kaming ulam ng asawa ko, you know. But,
Yes, installation art, actually, if you are entering into art with any intentions of making money, it's not really going to be lucrative. You can't really sell an installation,
yeah, you cannot sell an
It's all-
let
installation.
alone
Yeah, it's
large-scale
ephemeral,
installation.
no?
Same
Yeah,
with what I do,
ephemeral.
actually.
Ephemeral, it's,
I do a lot of video art or performance art. It's not something you can
Yeah.
sell. Like my older sister does jewelry, art jewelry, and she can sell that. You
I've
know,
always
but
thought you've been foolish about this thing. But that's
Oh,
it. It's
no.
it's the personal creative urge. It's that itch on your back that you want to scratch.
It
diba?
is, it
the
is.
hell
It's
with, or the
different
heck
with
with.
performance. With performance
you know,
art,
you make a
you don't-
profit or
you
whatever.
do it with or without an audience, you know.
Actually, sometimes I cannot blame people doing it because you have to eat 3 times a day, you have to pay the rent.
Yes, yes.
So it takes a lot of guts and determination and self-belief that you are going to contribute something. And it's something like you cannot refuse inside you, that you have to continue doing it kahit na wala kang binta, nagugutom yung pamilya mo. I'm fortunate because you have no kids. Kami lang mag-asawa, no? So, game naman yung wife ko. Game naman siya. So, naintindihan niya yung ginagawa ko. But now we are doing all right because I'm doing public art, I'm doing sculpture, so to earn a little money. But still doing something different, hindi yung basta lang kikita, no? When I was in college, I used to do a lot of portrait, 50 pesos, 100 pesos. Ganun.
Yeah.
Then I read palm and card
palmistry,
readings, you know. So I do a lot of other things just to survive. But because that's your equipment to do your other thing, yung gusto mo talagang gagawin, no? So yun ang ginagawa ko. Survive naman kami ng wife ko.
Well, we're down to the last minute. Wind
Yeah.
down,
We are.
tricks, and let's pay tribute to this great artist whose household name, as far as Philippine artists and the culturati are concerned. You talk about installation art, synonymous with
Synonymous
Junie.
with Junie. So
And all
thank you so
the
much for
generations
joining
that he
us.
has influenced. I'm glad that he's still very, very active, and I look forward to experiencing that artist's village.
Yes.
With
As do
or
I.
without Senator Angara there, I can steal into that island.
No, you can go there. We can go there together.
Yeah,
Go
sige.
there together.
When you're, I want to see how you're fashioning that the first artist's village in our archipelago.
Yeah, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much,
Congratulations.
and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
choosing
Thank
our
you for
program,
gracing our
Illuminati.
program.
It's my honor, actually.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
thank you
So-
once again to our viewers for joining us this
Yeah.
Tuesday evening. Enjoy the rest of your week, and
Yeah.
do tune in again to Illuminati next week.
Every Tuesday.
7
We'll see
o'clock.
you.